Shalom. Call Lord Yahweh Shem Shai by Shem Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone that taught us this truth, the 100% truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim on the four corners written their lives each and every week on the highways and the byways, pushing this truth. And to the brothers and sisters tuning in for edification, come with another lesson. This lesson will be entitled Christmas is Pagan. It's a pagan ritual. So I want to start off just to let you know that the Hebrew Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. The Bible does not have anything to do with religion. This is a nationality, a bloodline. It's a culture, a heritage, And we are the chosen people, the children of Israel, the Most High, the God of the Bible, that we come from our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, And today I wanted to talk about, this is a topic that I wanted to talk about, which is, Esau pushes every year, He pushes this pagan ritual, Christmas every year, on our people to celebrate, But what does the Bible say? The Bible condemns this pagan holiday. But our people want to shun it away to make it like everything is okay to celebrate this, And our people love to celebrate this every year, pretty much. They do the same as the heathen do, you know what I'm saying? They don't care, These people are celebrating a day that they don't know anything. They don't even know what they're celebrating, you know what I'm saying? They just do it because everyone else is doing it. Well, just to let you know, this is a pagan holiday that has been passed down from one generation to another generation to our people, you know what I'm saying? And that's why we're in the predicament to this day, you know what I'm saying? Because we're disobedient to Yahweh Shem Shai. We went off, our forefathers. And now we're still doing it to this day. We refuse to hearken to Yahweh Shem Shai and come back to the law, statute, and commandments. And that's why the Most High turned this back on us. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And that's why we're in captivity to this day. You know what I'm saying? I think that's Baruch 3 and 8. Yeah, because we're in captivity. You know what I'm saying? We're not free. So to be able to understand that you have to come out of this madness that our people is in, you have to put off that old man, and you have to come back and become a new man, a new creature. You know what I'm saying? And that's starting with worshiping the righteous acts. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at all these pagan holidays, they're all wicked, man. And who's on the main forefront of celebrating these wicked holidays? Our people. You know what I'm saying? This is our people is the one keep this pagan holiday. All these pagan holidays keep going. They love, and they're the ones that spend most of the money to keep it going. You know what I'm saying? That's how they operate. And the main thing what they think is, these people don't have no righteous decor, about themselves. You know what I'm saying? Especially the heathen. And what they do is they just keep on, following what the heathens do. They don't have no decor when it comes to the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? They just blatantly just follow, whatever they do. You know what I'm saying? And they mainly think that this day has something to do with, Yahweh Shai and Mashiach birthday. It doesn't have nothing to do with his birthday. You know what I'm saying? And they celebrated that 2 days ago, This is a pagan ritual that our people don't supposed to participate in, but they do, you know. But once you tell them, hey, everything about, hey, you don't supposed to be celebrating this. This doesn't have nothing to do with, well, they call him Jesus, but his real name is Yahushua. They say, oh, you know what, man? Oh, brother, I'm just celebrating because it's for the kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing it for the kids. But you don't realize when you say you're doing it for the kids, you telling the kids it's okay to believe a lie. But you get mad if you tell them don't lie to you, but you sitting up here, a grown ass man or woman, lying to your kids, saying it's okay to celebrate. And just to give you a FYI, the Most High Son, Yahushua, he was born in the springtime, man. He wasn't born in the wintertime when everything is dead, And I think that's in Luke chapter 2, verse, that's in, Luke chapter 2, you know what I'm saying, around verse 41, So he wasn't born when everything was dead. That doesn't even make sense, you know what I'm saying? So we in the dead, and right now we in the dead age. You can research this, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty much a winter sorceress. Winter sorceress. I think I'm not pronouncing it. If I'm not pronouncing it right, Slaki. But yeah, and so you can research this, you know what I'm saying? Just because the heathens celebrate this day don't mean that you have to celebrate this day, you know? And this was also, I think it was also celebrated in Egypt, you know what I'm saying? But that's how our people do, man. They love celebrating. Another thing they do too, they celebrate, this pagan Easter also, which is worship another idol too, worshiping Ishtar, because rabbits don't lay eggs, you know what I'm saying? But that's just how our people is. Yeah, winter sorcerers. Yeah, so that's how our people is, And Ishtar is another, is worshiping Tammuz. You know what I'm saying? That's celebrating Easter. That because when it's speaking about Easter in the Bible, it's talking about the Passover. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And during this time, you know what I'm saying, when they do celebrate this, it's a reason why they cut down the tree, which is it's an evergreen tree, to join it together with the pagan Christmas, you know what I'm saying? And that goes into Jeremiah. I'm gonna pull that up. It's Jeremiah chapter 10. And this was during the time when Jeremiah was speaking, Jeremiah the prophet was speaking to the nation of Israel. And they didn't hear him at all, you know what I'm saying? They did not want to hear him, you know what I'm saying? Because they will have to be going on a straight and narrow path, and that's what our people is. They stiff-necked, hard-headed. They don't want to do that. They pretty much was told to stop worshiping these idols, you know what I'm saying? But what they did, they kept on, and what they're doing now, they're doing the same thing that our forefathers doing. They worshiping, these pagan, they're worshiping these idols, you know what I'm saying? And let me go to Jeremiah chapter 10. And this is going to be a quick video, straight to the point, Let's read, starting from the top. Hear ye the word which the Lord Yahweh Shai speak unto you, O house of Israel. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Shai, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the custom of the people are vain, for one cut a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with an axe. Verse 4. They deck it with silver, with gold. They fasten it with nails, with hammers, that it move not. Verse 5. And they are upright as a palm tree, but speak not. They must needs to be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also it is in them to do good. Yeah, so it says right here, you know what I'm saying? Don't do what the heathen do. And during this time of the year, people think, if you don't have a Christmas tree up in your house, they think something wrong with you, you know what I'm saying? Especially like when you go visit your family and then they bring up, these pagan days, you know what I'm saying? They want to do this to grab, you know what I'm saying? What they're doing is they're trying to get your attention because they know you don't celebrate this. But they know deep down in the back of their heart, they know it's wrong. But they all know I'm going to keep on celebrating it, And it's already, and you can tell them the truth about Christmas, what the scriptures say. And then they'll fan you with their hand. Oh, I don't want to hear that. I'm doing it for the kids. What's wrong with you? And sure, I got a neighbor across the street, man, he blasting the music loud as hell. He's a heathen, he's an Edomite, he's Esau. But they can celebrate this crap, you know what I'm saying? But the problem is they pushing it on our kids in school, you got little ones and they'll be singing jingle bell, jingle bell. You know what I'm saying? You're like, man, I ain't even teaching you this, but it's the TV. You know what I'm saying? Because they know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And what verse 3 says, for the custom of the people are vain. Yeah, they vain. For one cut a tree out of the forest, they work of the hands of the workmen with an axe. And this pretty much, the Bible condemns this, man. It don't say, that we supposed to be going, cutting the tree down, putting it in our house, decking it, saying, like verse 4 say, they deck it with silver and gold, and they fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not, that it move not, you know what I'm saying? Slacky. So we don't supposed to celebrate this. That's why most of these trees, you see some of these trees, they catch on fire in people's homes, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they do. They put them in there because that's a sign, especially they do that, you know what I'm saying? They really catch fire, with our people, because they being disobedient to Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai, you know what I'm saying? And what does it say at the end? Neither also is it them to do good. Yeah. Because these people really don't think they are doing good. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they do. They love thinking that they're doing good, but they're not. And what they're best at doing is pushing lies to our people. You know what I'm saying? So, it's time to wake up, Jake, and Eve, you know what I'm saying? But you're not, you know what I'm saying? Only the elect and the 1/3 is gonna wake up, because this is not something that we're supposed to participate in at all, and teaching your kids, you know what I'm saying? This is blaspheming the Most High Son, because he wasn't born on December 25th. He was born in the springtime, around the Passover, when everything blooms, So y'all need to come out of this darkness y'all in, you know what I'm saying? Let me go to Romans 13:11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to wake out of sleep, for now is our salvation near than when we believe. Yeah. So when you come into this truth, you realize that everything is not, you realize everybody is not going to accept this truth, man. And it's not for everybody either. This truth ain't for everybody. I don't care how you you know, explain it, tell somebody, you know, you know, hey, man, I'm gonna tell you all about this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you the history. I'm gonna give you, read the people of the Bible, and blah 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 blah. They don't want to hear that. They're not gonna accept it. Only his sheep gonna hear this word, and that's the same thing what we're saying when you celebrating this pagan holiday. You know what I'm saying? You gotta wake up and come out of this darkness, this sleep that you in. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Noah prophesied for 120 days, man. It's the same spirits back today. You know what I'm saying? And most of these people is basically just stuck in their old ways. You know what I'm saying? Sirach 5 and 7. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna, realize it until it's too late. And that's what our people do. They love waking up when it's too late. When the famine in the world is not around, the Akim is not on the four corners of this earth teaching his truth. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter at all. So, Jake, you know what I'm saying? Just keep on doing what you're doing. Because you're doing a real good job. Every year around this time, y'all love, celebrating, this pagan Thanksgiving, this pagan Christmas, and then around the corner is New Year's, you know what I'm saying? So we already know what y'all gonna do. Verse 12, the night is far spent, day is at hand, let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. And this goes into studying this word, you know what I'm saying? As well as history. Especially what happened back in 70 AD until now, you know what I'm saying? These pieces are being put together now, But these people they're gonna stay asleep, especially our people. And the heathen is not gonna wake up. Well, you gotta understand. Well, I'll take that back. Esau listened to the truth more than our people, you know what I'm saying? And they don't wanna, accept it. When they can't even be included in it, you know what I'm saying? Let me read that back again. Verse 12, the night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. And this is what we have to do, you know what I'm saying? To put off the work of darkness, you have to put on the armor of light. You have to change your mindset. You have to rise up out of Babylon, you know what I'm saying? And come back to the Most High. Come back to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you know what I'm saying? Micah 2 and 10, let me get that, Because this is not our rest, man. We don't supposed to be being comfortable here. You know what I'm saying? We don't supposed to be enjoying Babylon. You know what I'm saying? Babylon the Great. We're supposed to come out of this place. Micah 2 and 10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, and it should destroy you even with a sword destruction. Yeah. So it says rise and depart. Yeah, and this is as a spiritual aspect. Rise and depart from this place, for this is not your rest, because it will pollute you. Yeah, it will pollute your mind, and that's what it has done to our people mind, man. Esau has messed our people up. You know what I'm saying? Esau has, polluted our mind when we kill each other. He has polluted our mind where the woman fights against the man, you know what I'm saying, can't get along. Esau has polluted our mind with the sports, you know what I'm saying, basically keeping our attention distracted. Esau polluted our mind with selling drugs to our people, killing our people, you know what I'm saying, and the list goes on, you know what I'm saying, and it should destroy you even with the sword destruction. Yeah, because that's what Babylon already has done. It has destroyed our people, man, And our people don't want to realize that and accept that. You know what I'm saying? That's why we say, rise ye and depart from this place. Let's go back to Romans chapter 13. And I got a couple more scriptures I'm going to close out. I hope this will be edifying. Romans chapter 13, verse 13. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness. Yeah. And let us put on the armor, and not in chambering and wantingness, not in strife and envy. Let me read that back again. Verse 13. Let us walk honestly honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, and not in strife and envy. Yeah. And when you look at the history of Christmas, man, it was banned here in America because of the rioting and the drunkenness. But they brought it back. And now our people just, man, they can't get enough. You know what I'm saying? They cannot get enough. You know, they can't trim their ways, man. You know why? I mean, that's the with the script. Let's get that Jeremiah chapter verse 2, verse 33. Why trim their way? And that's what our people do. Our people wants to just get along, to go along. You know what I'm saying? That's all they want to do. They want to accept. They don't want to be the outcast. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 33. Why trim thy way to seek love? Yeah. And that's what Jake wants. He wants love from his master. You know what I'm saying? You know, he wants to be accepted. Therefore thou hast taught the wicked ones thy ways. Yeah. And this is going into how basically our people are, you know what I'm saying, in this world. Instead of changing their ways, they just want to continue in they want to continue to be wicked, you know what I'm saying? Because most of our people refuse to change, you know what I'm saying? They would not trim their ways, man. They just want to keep on, being in wickedness and doing the same thing they daddy do, you know what I'm saying? John 8 and 44, But this truth will set you free. Let's get that 8 John chapter 8, John chapter 8, verse 32. Because once you come into this truth, it sets you free, and and then you depart, you know what I'm saying? You rise up and you depart from this place. And you don't want nothing to do with this place, And you look at people like, man, the audacity, man, to bring up some Christmas to me, man. But in my mind, I ain't gonna say nothing because I'm gonna be wise as a serpent. But don't come with that crap to me, you know what I'm saying? John chapter 8, verse 32, and ye should know the truth, and the truth should make you free. Yeah. And when you hear this truth of what Christmas is about, you know what I'm saying? You like, man, I'm way past that, you know what I'm saying? I'm already set free through the Spirit, you know what I'm saying? But you already know these 2/3 of our people gonna keep celebrating because their mind has been polluted. Their minds will still be in the chains of darkness, Especially when they bring this MOTB out, you know what I'm saying, Revelations 13 and 16, our people gonna take it. They gonna line up and they gonna take it, man, because they already in the line. You know what I'm saying? They did that with the jungle juice. You know what I'm saying? Back in 2019, 2020, they already got in line. You know what I'm saying? They held their arm out. So what much more are they gonna do when the MOTB come? You know what I'm saying? They're gonna do the same thing. That's why we say, you know what I'm saying, Proverbs 11 and 21. You know what I'm saying? Separate from this devil. You know what I'm saying? Proverbs chapter 11, verse 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked should not be unpunished, but the seed of righteous shall be delivered. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell the 2/3 of our people, you know what I'm saying, they're going to keep on celebrating these holy days. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand that we have days that we can celebrate that are even better than these pagan holidays. You know what I'm saying? They got Hanukkah where you can get a gift for 8 days, one gift every day, man. And you should get 8 days off, but you can't get 8 days off in this wicked kingdom because Esau don't want you. What he wants you to do is report your ass back to the plantation. That's what he wants you to do. Wake your ass up at 5 excuse my language. Wake your butt up at 5 a.m. or however time you got to get up. You work first shift, second shift, or third shift. Get your butt up and bring your butt to work. After that pagan day, you didn't drunk, you know what I'm saying? You didn't got tipsy, you didn't ate your food and all that. What do he want you to do? He wants you to come back. He wants you to come back to work. You know what I'm saying? But Babylon gonna be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get that in Revelations 18:4. Babylon is gonna be destroyed. So we don't have to worry about that. And I'm gonna close out with this last one. Revelation chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people." Yeah. And my people, that's speaking of the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And that ye be not partakers of her sins. Yeah. And partakers of her sins is talking about Babylon, a.k.a. America. You know what I'm saying? That ye receive not of her plagues, because Babylon got, just like ancient Egypt, when we was in ancient Egypt, and Most High told Pharaoh to let my people go. He told, you know what I'm saying? He kept on hardening his heart, Most High, and he put them plagues on ancient Egypt. He's doing the same thing to Babylon the Great, aka America. You know what I'm saying? Verse 5, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Yeah, because the Most High have remembered her iniquities. He have remembered America, man, of all the rape, rob, and murder that Esau has done to our people. And he still got our minds polluted, you know what I'm saying? Celebrating this day, which doesn't have nothing to do with Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have nothing to do with him, you know? So America, you know what I'm saying, her sins have reached unto heaven, you know what I'm saying? And God have remembered her iniquities. So God and the Most High Yahweh hasn't forgot anything, you know what I'm saying? He hasn't forgot anything that Esau, the self-proclaimed so-called white man, Esau, has done to our people. And everything that you've done, you've pushed number lies to our people to celebrate these pagan days. You know, you have polluted our people's mind. You have raped, robbed us. You have done nothing but treated us, oppressed us, and did everything in the book. And the Most High is going to remember all the iniquities that AKA America, Babylon the Great, has done. So I want to leave on that. I just want to tell our people, man, this is a pagan day. Christmas is a pagan day, and you don't supposed to be celebrating any of these days. And this week coming up is this New Year's, which is another ritual, another pagan ritual day. So don't celebrate it. And that's speaking for the elect in 1/3. You niggas 2/3, we already know what you're going to do. So I want to say Shalom. Call all Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai by Shem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone that rule and teach well. Salutations to the Akim on the four corners of this earth, teaching his truth, restoring their lives each and every day. And to the brothers and sisters tuning in for edification, hope this was edifying. This is your brother Dawadah. Shalom.